editor of DCReport.org. All right, David, let me get your reaction to the goings-on today. Donald Trump rebuked by a second federal court. Your thoughts?
Well, Donald has a long history of thumbing his nose at the law. That's why he was involved in over 4,500 lawsuits. And Donald does what he wants to do. And it is very important that we have cases brought that say we are not a law of men, we are a nation of laws. The idea presented by the administration today that an action of the president is above the view of the courts should be deeply disturbing to everybody and is indicative of the fact that Donald, in his campaign, repeatedly talked of the job of president as being a dictator. And you're now seeing this in action, and you're seeing it in other areas, not just here. And we need to be very much on guard if we want our republic to survive Trump's presidency.
And David, how much of this is Donald Trump, and how much of it is the ideology being served up to him like a blue plate special by people like Steve Bannon and General Michael Flynn?
Well, Donald chose these people to be around him. Steve Bannon has taken objection to the idea that he's a white nationalist. His publication, Breitbart, is a racist publication. Donald Trump has a long history of conduct where he's been found to have discriminated against blacks, women, Asians in the rental of housing, in employment, and in other actions. Donald Trump is a racist, and we need to recognize that we've put a racist in the White House. We also need to recognize Donald doesn't know anything, as I've been saying for 2 years now. Donald doesn't know a Sunni from a Shia from a Sikh, nor why that would matter. And so he's very much under the sway of these other people. And all you have to do is look at the 7 countries that were chosen, not the countries where Trump has investments, not the countries like Saudi Arabia that sent the 9/11 hijackers here, but 7 countries that include Sudan, where a number of people worked alongside our soldiers, diplomats, and spies to help us.
And what do you expect him to do? I mean, having been tracking him for so long and being a reporter that's followed him for so long, what do you expect him to do in regards to this executive order, especially with somebody like Bannon, who is a self-described Leninist who wants to destroy the institutions of the state and may not be counseling him to abide by this order?
Joy, the big unanswered question here is whether Donald Trump will defy federal judges' orders. You may not like a judge's order. If a police officer says stop, you may think he has no reason to do so, but your obligation is to stop. And the same thing with federal court orders. Now, presumably some of the people around Donald are cautioning him not to overplay, and if he's going to defy an order, to carefully pick. And this would be a very, very unfortunate case if he wants to do that for him in his effort to essentially assume dictatorial powers.
All right, well, everybody, stay where you are. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. Everybody, much more to come. Stay with us.